Thanks for watching WDEM Television. Right now I'm in Bexley with Ron Wolfinger, Independent Associate for Prepaid Legal Services. We're having a little lunch, having a little conversation about your business and what you do. Ron, why don't you explain it for us a little better so we understand it?
All right, great, Jason. The best way for me to explain prepaid legal services is really to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
Typically when I talk to someone and ask them if they've used an attorney in the last year or two, in your case, have you used an attorney in the last year or two?
No, I haven't.
And why not? Why haven't you used an attorney?
Just nothing's really come up, I guess.
Didn't have a need to. And typically when I talk to someone, that's what they would say is they didn't have a need for an attorney. But let me ask you this. In the last year or two, have you signed your name to any contracts or documents? For instance, cell phone contract, apartment lease, something of that nature?
Absolutely.
Well, what we don't realize is every time we sign our name to a contract or a document, we did in fact use an attorney, it just wasn't ours.
Oh, okay.
For instance, cell phone contracts were written by the cell phone attorneys to protect you or the cell phone company.
They are, well, I would think to protect myself.
Well, they're actually written to protect the cell phone company.
Oh, okay.
So what would a wealthy person, for instance, Donald Trump, Bill Gates, maybe Mr. Wexner, to limit to do before they signed a cell phone contract?
They would have their lawyers look it over, I'm assuming.
What's the difference between Mr. Wexner, Mr. Gates, Donald Trump, and you and I?
They have lots of money.
Right, I like to say commas and zeros. We got the zero part covered, but we just don't have any commas to go with our zeros. So what we do is we make access to that system affordable for everyday people, for everyday life, through what's called the law of large numbers.
Okay.
And let me kind of explain to you how that works. The cost of our service, which I think is kind of hard for people to grasp sometimes, is as little as $17 a month. What kind of attorney do you think you can get for $17 a month?
I have no idea. That would kind of unheard of in my perspective.
You wouldn't be able to get a very good attorney.
Right.
But cumulatively, in Ohio, for instance, we have about 50,000 members voluntarily paying into the system every month. Okay. And as a result of that, part of that money's pulled out aside and given as a retainer to a law firm here in Columbus that we pay millions of dollars, up near $4 million a year as a retainer. Wow. Now, if I'm paying your law firm $4 million a year, what kind of service can I get?
Some pretty good service,
Pretty good service, okay. And what kind of attorneys would you hire for me?
Very powerful attorneys.
Right, exactly, and that's the way the system works. And I think sometimes when people hear about prepaid legal service, they think, well, you know, it can't be very good because it doesn't cost very much, because we've all been told if it sounds too good to be true,
it's too good to be true.
It's too good to be true, right. Well, in this case, it really is true.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Does that help?
Absolutely. As far as what kind of clients would you normally pull in? Is it all range of clients? What can we expect from prepaid?
Yeah, really, all range of clients. We have customers who are single parents, and we have customers who are CEOs of major corporations. You know, one of the questions that comes into play is, well, what do I get for my $17 a month? Okay? Right. Well, the first thing, and again, I like to ask questions because I think it can help you understand a little more about what we do. If you could pick up the phone and call an attorney anytime you wanted about anything you wanted, and as often as you wanted to, and you didn't have to worry about getting the bill, would you call more often?
Oh, I'd call every day.
You call every day? Well, that's exactly what you have with this services. You have the ability to pick up the phone and call an attorney firm every day and ask questions about what you can or can't do about a situation.
Oh, wow. So I mean, anything that comes across, I can pick up the phone, call, there's going to be no service. I'm actually going to get a well-rounded response other than from a short response of an attorney that was just getting...
Absolutely, because the attorneys are already being paid. They're just waiting for you to call.
Wow, that's cool.
Okay? Now, that same attorney might decide to write a letter or make a phone call on your behalf if the situation would warrant.
Oh, wow.
Okay? Now, I use this example. Ever have your car down to Billy Bob's repair shop?
Oh, yeah.
All right, now, you drive away and your car's worse shape than when Billy got his hands on it.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you can write a letter, or you could have possibly your attorney write a letter.
Oh.
Which one would have a greater impact?
Oh, definitely the attorney, yes.
If it didn't cost you anything to have that attorney write that letter, make that phone call, would that be even better?
Oh, that would be absolutely perfect.
Okay. Well, that's the next thing that we do for you.
Oh, wow.
In addition to that, we review contracts and documents before our members sign those, up to 10 pages at no additional charge, all part of the service that I'm talking about.
For $17 a month, you can get all these services. I can have the lawyer write in a letter to Billy Bob saying, take the car back and fix it correctly.
Exactly. And the other great thing about the service is it's not only good here in Ohio, but it's good anywhere in the country. So just like your health insurance gives you access to a medical system anywhere in the country, we give you access to the legal system anywhere in the country because we have provider law firms in each state that are there to represent you should you be in that state and have a need. Okay?
Okay.
In addition to that, 70% of all Americans don't have a will.
Okay.
And with part of this, with this service, the member would get a will, a living will, healthcare power of attorney, all part of the service at no additional charge. And the membership actually covers the member's spouse, significant other, children up to age 23 if they're in college. So it would cover the entire family for that basic.
See, especially that's really interesting because coming from someone that doesn't know much about, wills and letters from the lawyers, that's really informative, especially coming from $17 a month, which is excellent. I can get a will, I can get the letter. What other things? I think we talked about a 5-step program, I think you mentioned.
There's basically 5 areas of coverage. The next area would be the motor vehicle services.
Okay.
And this doesn't take place right away. A lot of the services are immediate, but 15 days after you sign up for that service, you're a young guy, you probably do a lot of driving. Have you ever gotten a speeding ticket?
Yes, I have, unfortunately.
Okay, we've got this live on, Anyway, so when you got that ticket, did you pay it?
Yes.
When you paid it, you admitted guilt?
Yes.
Okay, so if you could have had an attorney represent you in traffic court at no additional charge, might that have changed the overall circumstances?
Hey, it's going to save me $100. I'm going to do it, right?
And at no additional charge to have that attorney represent you?
Absolutely.
That'd be okay too?
Absolutely.
Okay, well that's what we're going to do for you. In addition to that, if you should get involved in an accident and God forbid there's a loss of life, a lot of people don't realize this, but the state of Ohio can actually bring criminal charges against you. And a lot of people think that their auto insurance might cover them on those criminal charges, but those would be excluded. But we would represent you to the full extent of the law at no charge for attorney time.
Really?
Providing you're driving your car legally, properly insured, and you're not, under the influence of drugs or alcohol. We don't encourage bad behavior.
Right.
But everybody finds themselves in situations where they need some help, and we're really there to help them for that.
Okay.
When you first sign up for the service, you immediately get 60 hours of trial defense for a job-related or a civil charge.
Okay.
Every year job-related criminal charge or civil charge. Every year you keep the service, we add hours to it, but we've never raised rates on an existing customer in 37 years. We're actually a 37-year-old New York Stock Exchange company.
Wow.
So the price stays the same, but the benefit goes up to the 5th year. Did you ever get a letter from the IRS?
I've gotten a couple letters from the IRS.
How'd that make you feel? Is that like winning the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes?
Kind of almost exact opposite.
Exact opposite, like getting kicked in the stomach, right?
Exactly.
But we provide our members with 50 hours of a tax attorney should they find themselves in a situation
really?
where they might be audited. Okay.
So every year we can use these tax attorneys, especially during tax season.
Well, if you find yourself in a situation where you're being pulled in, explanation on what happened. A lot of people think that their accountant will be there, and that may be true, but really the attorney is there to represent you and to protect you and your rights.
That's amazing. I didn't even know that.
Very, very nice. And the other thing that we offer is a 25% discount on anything that might be pre-existing or anything that I haven't already kind of talked about.
Okay.
For instance, DUI, drug-related charges aren't covered under the motor vehicle, but if you should find yourself in that situation, you still get a 25% discount through our provider network system. Bankruptcy, child custody. A lot of people are facing a lot of difficult times right now.
Definitely. Because of the economy, I know a lot of people are having trouble with their creditors. Would we get letters or help from these lawyers as well with this service?
Always can pick up the phone, call the attorney, find out what they can or cannot do. It's amazing what an attorney letter can do in a situation where a creditor may be hounding you or giving you a hard time, or sometimes you just don't know what to do, and being able to call and get advice. You may not like the answer all the time, but once you understand what the answer is, it's a lot easier to deal with. Does it,
absolutely,
sense?
Definitely.
Great. And then we give the member 24-hour access to an attorney in the event of an emergency, or I should say more, if they're being questioned or detained. We all know our Miranda rights, but how many of us can pull out a card at 10 o'clock at night on a Friday night and get an attorney on the phone?
Right.
With this service, if you're in a situation like that, you can do that.
So when they say, I want to talk to my lawyer, that's when you come in?
Absolutely. We have a card the member can carry 24 hours a day.
Oh, that's
great. We get an attorney out of bed anywhere in the country.
Wow.
If you happen to be in a situation where you're being questioned or detained by a police officer, being hauled downtown for something you maybe did or didn't do.
Right. Oh, that's amazing. That's so awesome. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know this existed. So it's
a very neat service. One of the products that we offer that's really kind of a very interesting product for people is identity theft protection.
Okay.
And I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about different kinds of protection and what that really means. But I like to ask, my friends 2 questions. If your identity was stolen today, Jason, would you know it?
No.
And if it was, would you know how to fix it?
Absolutely not.
Well, for basically an additional product that we offer, it's $9.95 more onto that $17 plan. We let you know, but we fix it.
Okay.
Lots of times people find themselves with an identity theft issue. They might contact insurance company or the credit card company, and really they can't really help you.
Right.
But we work with a company called Crow Background America. They're actually a 37-year-old company. They work with governments, 6 continents, 60 offices around the world, and they're able to do the total and complete restoration for our members in all 5 areas of identity theft.
Right.
There's medical identity theft.
Really?
Someone steals your health insurance information, they go to the hospital or they go get treated, and who gets the bill?
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that.
Okay. Driver's license identity theft. One of your buddies takes off with your driver's license, they get a ticket, they wad it up, they throw it away. Who goes to jail?
I go to
You
jail.
go to jail.
Man.
There's Social Security number identity theft. Just a million illegal aliens cross the Mexican border in the United States every year, and what do they need to work in our society?
Wow. Yeah, they need a Social Security
Social
card.
Security number. And just another example of an identity theft issue, and then there's character identity theft. Someone commits a crime in your name, and who's responsible for it?
I'm responsible for it.
So we not only let you know, we monitor, we pull your credit report, we monitor 24/7, but if you become a victim of identity theft, you sign a power of attorney, file a police report, and we basically take care of everything else.
Wow, that's great. I mean, instead of waiting in line through phone call after phone call with your insurance company or
Right.
credit card company, you get jump straight to the line with you guys.
Exactly. Federal Trade Commission says it can take 300 to 600 hours of your spare time to deal with a full-blown identity theft issue.
Okay.
And most of us don't have 300
Right.
hours, even know where to begin.
Right.
So we basically take that responsibility, that burden off of you, and we take care of those problems for you. So
That's excellent.
pretty much explains pretty much everything that we do.
Yeah.
Any other questions that you have?
You know, I just want to say that this is an awesome service, and honestly, I am overwhelmed because I never even knew that this kind of service existed. We can call you up. Where can we find more information on prepaid legal services?
Well, actually, you can go to my website, ronwolfinger.com,
Okay.
or you can contact me. My local phone number would be 614-633-0076, and I can give you more information, or you can check out the website, and they can give you more information there as well.
Not bad, Ron.
All
Thank
right,
you so
Thank
much.
you much. I
All right.
appreciate your time and taking the time to sit down with me.
Hey, I got the lunch bill today. Okay.
All right, very good. It's a deal. Thanks.